Good morning, everyone. This is Leah Dixon in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, and I am here for my regular weekly video for the month of June. I am going to be switching to doing these videos on Monday mornings with the new normal and my new teaching schedule. I'm now working on Wednesdays, which has been my normal day off for quite some time. So happy to be here on a Monday morning stamping with you, and I am finally getting a chance to dive into the new catalog and some of the new product there. So this is the Lovely You stamp set and the Lovely Labels Pick a Punch, and together they're actually a bundle. And you'll find information about it on page 22 of your new catalog. So the two together, the Lovely You bundle, is $57.50 in Canadian funds. So it's a really nicely priced bundle for a gorgeous stamp set and a punch that actually gives you 6 different options. You can choose the end that you would like for your punch, and then you can cut your paper at half, 3/4, or 1 inch to get a really nice layered label effect. And so I'm going to be demonstrating that today, as well as how to use this really, really beautiful stamp set. So I'm actually going to be doing somewhat of a case of the card that's on page 22 of our catalog. So we've got this beautiful card here, and I've changed it up a bit in that I'm changing up the colors, but I'm going to show you just how simple it is to create that beautiful background with our stamps, and also how to color your ribbon. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to move these out of the way. And I'm going to bring in, oh, almost dropped my punch there, yikes. I'm going to bring in just a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This cardstock is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and that's so that this is going to layer up really nicely onto our card front. Now I've grabbed 4 of the stamps from our stamp set Lovely You, along with 3 colors and a neutral. So our palette for today is going to be Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, and So Saffron. I had wanted to create this card using the new Magenta Madness, and I think that it would go really nicely with the Copacabana and So Saffron, but I do not have my order yet with my inks. I'm hoping it will arrive later this week, so I've just substituted in Calypso Coral. It's going to give us a little bit of a lighter look, but yeah, we'll manage. All right, so I am actually going to start with my neutral, just because it's the largest of the stamps that I'm using, and I always do try to start with kind of the larger stamps when I'm working with stamps and work my way down to stamping smaller things. All right, so actually just give me a second. I can see that there are a few of you on here, so I'm just going to make a little post and see if once I've done that. Oh, there we go. Now I can see your comments. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Catherine. All right. So funny how Facebook keeps changing on us. All right, so I've got, what neutrals did I grab here? I grabbed Sahara Sand, and so I'm just going to be stamping kind of all over the place with this one. Oops. Oh, well, cover that up. All right. And so I've got that one done. I'm going to just set that to the side now. I'll probably keep these out and use them to decorate my envelope, but for now I'm just going to work on the inside of the card. So now I'm going to grab my Calypso Coral and come in here and stamp. Oh no. And let's just grab the chamois, because I just got Calypso Coral ink all over my thumb. All right, clean that up. There we go. So it's been kind of a crazy week. I cannot believe, I think this is the first time ever that there's been a new catalog and I haven't gotten around to stamping with it until, what, a good full week after it went live. I'm a little bit shaken up by all that's going on right now. There's just so much to coordinate and plan with work, and wow, yeah, I cannot believe that it's taken me this long. This is literally the first time I've used any of my new product from the catalog, which is just horrible, but I'm super excited to play with this. And so this is the stuff that I got in my pre-order that I haven't even used until today. And then I do have an order that I just placed the other day that's on its way, and some fun stuff in there to play with. So looking forward to it. It's almost summer, 3 weeks of school left. All right, so here we go. Just gonna pop in there with a nice little leaf, and up here, and another one in here. Okay, and maybe another one down here. All right. And then finally, we're going to come in with some So Saffron and stamp in a nice little flower. All right. So I do have, I did manage some time yesterday to pop into my computer and start doing some planning. For those of you who are part of my team, you will know that this Thursday is our team meeting. Hopefully you have your package by now. Janice, I'll get yours to you tomorrow. But everybody else, it's either in the mail or I've hand delivered it to you. So we're all set to go for that. If you're not part of my team, I just wanted to let you know that right now is absolutely the perfect time to kind of get involved with Stampin' Up, because they have a bundle deal going on right now, where when you sign up for the starter kit, which is $135 Canadian, that includes your shipping and taxes, you get $165 worth of product, and that's normal. But then in addition to that, right now, you also get a free bundle. So like the bundle I'm using today is one of the free options. Anything that is a stamp set and a die, or a stamp set and a punch, is part of that deal. So it's a pretty awesome time to join. So yeah, that's, and then as part of being my team, we do monthly meetings where I send out little projects and stuff for you, and we get together, we chat, we stamp, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of other perks to being part of my team, but that's one of my favorites, is our monthly stamping together. So yeah. All right, so what I've gone and done here is I went and measured out a piece of crinkle seam binding in Whisper White, and I don't know, a good chunk. I wrapped it around and made sure I had enough to be able to tie a bow. This is probably about, well, let's see, in inches, 8. Let's see, 8. I do have one of these that has a measurement guide on it. Let's see here. That's 16 and another 3, so 19 inches of ribbon, so that I'll get a good bit to wrap around. Now this is Whisper White, and I don't want to put white on white for this card, so I've grabbed my dark Calypso Coral blend, and I'm actually just going to come in and start coloring my ribbon with the blend. I'm going to try not to touch the part that I've colored. I'll also try and get up into the screen where you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try not to touch the part that I've colored, just because while it's wet, this ink will come off on my fingers, and I don't want that to happen. Oh, good morning, Lori. Good morning, Danielle. So as I'm here, I'm just going to keep moving this along. It doesn't take much to get the color applied to this ink, because these are alcohol based, and so they do kind of bleed into the ribbon. And you'll notice I'm also only coloring one side, and it is bleeding right through this ribbon, which is why I'm working on top of a piece of paper, not just directly onto my desk. And I am using kind of the paintbrush tip and I'm coming at it kind of like from an angle, so I'm not just using the tip of that to apply this color. All right, so a little bit more to do here. And what's so lovely about this is you can use this technique with your blends with literally any color. Having a roll of this white crinkle seam binding means basically you have a roll of any color that you have a blend for. There are other ways to color this ribbon as well, but this is the way that I find is the least messy, because with it being alcohol based, it does dry very quickly, and then you're not going to get wet fingers by trying to work with your ribbon. I'm so impatient. There's a way that you can actually color these, dye them with your re-inkers, and I am never patient enough to wait for them to dry, and then I pick them up and I get wet fingers and I get smudges on my projects. So doing it this blend way suits my impatient side a lot more. Now, if you were trying to do a whole roll of ribbon, you may not want to, because you would go through your blends quite quickly. But I'm just doing a single piece of ribbon, so I'm not too concerned. Now, I'm pretty sure that's already dry, but I am just going to set it to the side for right now while we move on to our next step, which is to create the label for our card. So I have two pieces of cardstock here. One has been cut at 3/4 of an inch, one at 1 inch, so they layer nicely. And then same thing for the length. I just shaved 1/4 of an inch off to give that nice layer on all sides. So I have 3 inches and 2 3/4 inches for my labels. I wouldn't go much smaller than 2.5 inches when creating labels with the Lovely Labels punch. Pick a punch, because you have to have enough label to be able to insert it. And actually, I'll just show you here. So when we get this punch, we're going to open it up, decide which end you'd like, and then when we slide our piece in, see, this is my 2 3/4, and you can see how little of it is left behind to actually hold on to. So I really wouldn't go much less than 2.5 inches. Now, before I punch this, I am going to turn this around, and I'm going to make sure that my label is flat against the top and lined up where I want it in terms of like the way it's scrolling and everything. And once I see that it's how I want it, I'm going to punch it, and then I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing to the other side. And again, I'm going to make sure that I've got it lined up how I'd like it. All right. So I do find that this punch with the bigger point on it is a little bit more forgiving and easier to line up. The other one, because it's got more of a rounded edge at the spots where you're going to be where it's hitting the edges of your paper, it makes it a little bit more difficult to line it up nicely. All right, there we go. And one more punch. So it's kind of nice because you can mix and match the two in terms of layering, and there we go. Make sure that's there. So yeah, I do always flip it over though to double check that like your positioning, because it doesn't just automatically slip in nicely. You do really have to work it to its spot. All right, so that's our lovely labels. Oh, there's my garbage can. All right. Okay, so with that done, I am going to take our small Copacabana piece. So now this one was 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to grab one of my sentiments, and the one I'm using is the Wildly Grateful, and I've grabbed some Versamark here. I'm going to ink up my sentiment with Versamark, which is basically just a clear, actually this one I think I'm going to do this way. Versamark is just a clear ink, and so I'm going to get this nicely centered and straight. All right, looks like I actually managed it. Sweet. Okay, then I'm going to pull this in here, grab some white embossing powder. Gotta keep remembering to move up where you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to put a little bit of white embossing powder over that. shake off the excess back into my container. I do have my little tray here behind, or you may want to just grab a piece of like scrap paper or something so that you can work off of that. Using a scrap paper is sometimes nicer because now when I put this back in, I'm just going to hope that I had cleaned it out nicely when I'd used other colors before, so that I don't get my white all mixed up with other colors. So using a scrap paper allows you to really keep everything separated. All right, so with that off to the side, I'm just going to clean up. I can feel the powder that I've left here. And I can put the lid on my Versamark. All right, I'm going to grab my heat tool, so I just have to plug it in. I never leave my heat tool plugged in. And then here we go. It's going to get just a little loud for a second, but this actually works very, very quickly. Okay, so now I have those words nicely embossed on there in white. Just kind of makes it pop. I love it when sentiments are put onto cards in different colors. And so we still have quite a nice arrangement of embossing powders, but white will always be my favorite. Okay, next step is some glue, which I just got to grab from my other table. There we go. And so now we're basically just going to start putting this card together. So I'm going to glue this layer onto the Calypso Coral layer. Okay, come on. There we go. And then the rest of the card I'm actually going to put together with dimensionals. Oops, come on. So I do like using the liquid glue because we can reposition. Next week I will be able to show you the seal, which is our new adhesive kind of to replace snail. I did put that into my order when I placed that the other day. So that's going to be coming and I'll be able to show you how that all works. All right, so now before we put the rest of this together, I'm going to grab this ribbon that I colored, and you can see now like I'm rubbing it and it's not leaving any marks. So it's dry, it's going to be fine on our card. And I'm just going to wrap this around, do one loop under. I'm actually going to turn it sideways and do my two bunny ears and tie a bow that's going to kind of sit sideways on my card front so that it's not going to be covering up my sentiment. All right, so once you've colored this ribbon does get a little bit stiffer, which is actually quite nice because it means that you can kind of really position it how you want it a bit better. I really do like this ribbon for that feature and that you can really shape it. And if you don't like how stiff the ribbon is after you've colored it, you can always just kind of run it through your hands and rub it a bit, and it does soften right up. But I actually like that it gets a little bit stiff, and then I can put it where I want it and it'll stay. All right, so with that done, now I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I'm going to pop my label on and pop this onto the front of our card. So I'll grab those. And here we go. So yeah, a few other things that I have going on this month, as I got my calendar kind of organized, is I have a happy hour happening, I believe on the 19th. If you go to my Facebook page to events, you'll see all of my events. But on Friday the 19th, I just figured it's been a while since I've had just a nice night to sit and stamp with some friends. So I'm just inviting you all to join me to a Zoom. Message me if you want the link for that one. And it's a bring your own project kind of thing. I'll have my own projects that I'll be sharing as we go along. And, you know, I'm there if you want to ask about techniques, or if you just like being able to bounce ideas off of people while you stamp, or just having that company while you're doing your stamping. And then I have an In Colors class coming up on the 20th. It's $20 to sign up for that one. If you're part of my team, then you're actually already getting that class because that's our monthly team meeting. And then on the 13th, I'm doing an online workshop. This will be the first one that I've done. And basically what it is, it's a free event. You just need to join my online workshop group. And I'll be doing a demo of 3 cards using some more new product from the catalog, showing some of the other product, even if I don't actually create with it. And I'll have an ordering special and everything. We'll do a few little prize giveaways. It'll be kind of a fun little way to spend a Saturday. That's the 13th. So yeah, those are kind of the things on my calendar for June. I'm also available to do other online stamping if you want to contact me about that. And of course, I'll be here on Monday mornings with my regular video. So this is the card that I've created for you guys today. And as you can see, it is really a direct case of that card from the catalog. I just changed up the sentiment and the colors, and color really does set the tone for things and change the way a card can look. So yeah, feel free, if you don't have a catalog already, to contact me. I love them. They're great idea books and a great way to get inspiration when you're stamping. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Yeah, I like to play with just different colors and kind of put together ones that might seemingly clash. And, you know, if done right, it all works out well. So yeah, and then I see here I do have a few little spots where I'll probably come and put in some embellishments because my stamping was a little bit sloppy. But yeah, this is the card. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you for sure next Monday, but probably before that, because our paper pumpkins actually should be arriving before Monday. That's my other reminder to you, is if you haven't ordered your box of sunshine yet, June 10th is the deadline to do that. So make sure you get online and order that paper pumpkin. It's going to be a gorgeous one this month. All right, bye-bye everyone.